consultant and high conflict co-parenting coach. And listen, we are talking today about how to outsmart the high conflict family members, okay? And this is in reference to my upcoming project that's happening in the next few weeks. We are doing a collaboration for all of you who want to outsmart the high conflict people in your family, okay? Because all of us have them, and how you deal with that is completely up to you, okay? So you don't have to fall into the traps. You don't have to fall for the lies, the manipulation. You don't have to fall for the deceit. What you can do is outsmart them, okay? Because believe it or not, even though they do some dumb things, they can be very clever with how they do them. And I want to give you the tools to outsmart them. I want you to be a part of a community so that you know you're not alone and you're not the crazy one. I want you to be a part of a community that of collaborators, as well as being able to have the platform for um, to be able to get clarity about some things, to gain connections. Connections are very important, but also to be able to have the tools and strategies to navigate. Because at the end of the day, unless you're planning to cut off all of these people, which in many cases is not possible, then you need to know how to navigate those relationships. And so today I'm going to talk to you about the reason why you need to be a part of this collaboration. Very simple. There's 5 reasons why I believe that everyone who has not successfully dealt with the pressure of being in relationships with family members who may be high conflict. The reason why I want you to be a part of, or I feel like you should be a part of this, is for 5 reasons. Okay, first of all, for you to gain practical tools and strategies, because there is a strategy. Okay, I'm not saying that you have to have them in your life every single day of the week. I'm not saying that they need to even be in your life majority of your life. What I am saying is when they have to be in your life, when they are invited to the barbecue, when they are invited to the birthday party, the graduation, whatever the case may be, you're not contemplating not participating because you don't want to have this you don't want to have this situationship, okay? And so I want to give you practical tools and strategies. That's a part of the collaboration as well. You also receive support from a community who may be facing similar challenge. I don't know about you, but there are people in my life who are not my best friend, okay, in my family, okay, who may not be my best friend, but I choose to not have them rest in peace in my world because I still love them. I still love the people that love them. I'm around the people that are around them, and so I have practical strategies on how I navigate when I have to be around those people. So I want to share those things with you. I also want to share with you some of my connections, professional connections who help my clients also navigate certain issues within these relationships. Legal counsel, counselors, therapists that are also a part of the process for those clients that I have who may need those additional services. Also, learn communication techniques. Listen, all of us can be better communicators, and that includes me. All of us can be better communicators, and when you are the best communicator, okay, when you're the best communicator in your family, or you at least the best communicator out of between you and the high conflict person, they're gonna respect you more than they respect the high conflict person. Trust me on this one, okay? Because one of the things about high conflict people too that I've noticed is that they communicate. They communicate, and they communicate convincingly. They are great with communicating and convincing people that they're not the crazy one. They are great at communicating with people that you are out of your minds. Something is wrong with you. They are great at that until they wreck the entire family. Then after that, that's like, oh, she was crazy. But no, we've been trying to tell you she was crazy all along, but y'all just, I don't know. So one of the things about high conflict people is they can be great at convincing people. They can be great influencers. They can be great communicators, lying communicators, but great. Okay. And what my job is to teach you communication techniques that promote healthier relationships within your family. I'm not saying you're about to have a tussling match because I'm not encouraging you to tussle with a terrorist. What I am encouraging you to do is to have communication techniques that keep you in a place of peace and comfort sometimes, at times, most of the time. And also, it helps to promote healthier relationships and reduce tension in the family. Okay, so I'm going to share with you some personal experiences as well to let you know that I'm not just pulling this out of a textbook. I have also gone through this several times and I have employed these techniques that I'm sharing with you in my own personal life. And I also teach them to my personal clients as well. So that's another great reason to be a part of this collaboration. You also will benefit from expert advice. I think I mentioned this earlier, expert advice and personalized coaching to address specific dynamics. Okay. So some of you may have some dynamics that I personally am not going through, or other people may not necessarily be going through that we're talking about on that topic. However, you get an opportunity to discuss your specific dynamics, and we'll walk you through the strategy for you to outsmart the high conflict person in that situation. Lastly, increasing your emotional intelligence. Listen, lately I have really been honing in on emotional intelligence and the importance of emotional intelligence. Listen, many of us have been led by our emotions in our life at some point in time. And relationships is a great way for you to be led by your emotions if you don't check it, okay? Emotions are real, emotions are important, emotions are valid. However, when you're dealing with a high conflict person, they will use your emotions as a weapon against you. I'm gonna say that again because some of y'all, once you walk to, I need this to click in your head. When you are dealing with an emotional abuser, let's just say that because that's exactly what it is. They will use your emotions as a weapon against you. So sometimes people say, well, well, what I'll do is I just won't have emotions. Well, that's really impossible to do if you are a human and you tend to have other relationships. You have to be emotionally invested and emotionally involved, but you also have to be emotionally intelligent so that you are aware when someone who is an abuser is using your emotions against you. Okay, so you have to have emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is always going to be a part of the equation when it comes to your relationships, and so that's a major part of this collaboration is to increase your emotional intelligence, your emotional resilience, and your emotional confidence when dealing and having difficult conversations. Now, I can tell you, and I'm going to be very, very clear with you all, that in order to have healthy relationships throughout your all of your family members, I mean aunties, uncles, grandparents, parents, some of y'all that are around my age, you're going to have difficult conversation with your parents because you're literally planning out the rest of their days. Now they parented you. Now you kind of go in and be the parent, not parent them, but you kind of have to lead them in certain things that they may not be familiar with or they not may not be ready to address. But it's going to be important in order for them to have the best quality of life that they desire, but they may not want to communicate. So those are difficult conversations. We'll get into that later. But you have to have emotional resilience, emotional confidence, and emotional intelligence in order to navigate those difficult conversations. Okay. Now, let me just be clear about this. In-laws, okay? In-laws is a highly sought after topic. First of all, in my practice, and secondly, when dealing with high conflict family situations, in-laws. Okay, so it's one thing to deal with the family that you grew up with. Okay, so over time, you kind of know aunties like that, my dad's like this, my mama's like that, my brother's like that. You kind of learn that over time because you grew up with these people all of your life. But then when you invite in-laws into the equation, these are people you have never, sometimes, now sometimes you do know them, okay? Because you may have grown up with them because you are married to somebody that lived around the corner from you. But a lot of times you don't really know them, right? So now that you've joined yourself with someone else and in-laws are now part of your family equation, you have to get to know the dynamic of those in-laws. And sometimes, many times, in-laws feel like they get possessive. Okay, they get inappropriately possessive of people and actually want to control situations without saying, I'm trying to come in and be a controller. And so you have to know how to navigate that without losing the love of your life, without losing your marriage, without losing the relationship that got you in this place in the first place. Okay. And so we're going to talk a lot about in-law dynamics because that is an area that could be very, very tricky to deal with, because we don't want, when we're dealing with the in-law, we don't want to damage the person that we truly, truly love in the process. So that's a tricky dynamic that we also talk a lot about in the collaboration. So listen, I want to encourage you to be a part of this collaboration. I have a special gift. I'm going to share this probably later on this week. For those, actually, I can share it now because I got it right here. The first 10 participants, the first 10 people that sign up to be a participant of the collaboration, you're going to receive the high conflict co-parenting resolution system. Okay. So really, this system can go for anybody in a high conflict situation, but majority of the conversations that I'm having in this system is really targeting high co-parents, because co-parenting is really close, near and dear to my heart. And I believe that the children pay the price for parents who don't get along. Okay. Even for the sake of I'm not saying you got to be friends. I'm not even saying, some people say, well, they're no longer your family if you're not together. I don't totally agree with that. I believe that when you have a child together, that is what links you as family. Argue with your mama. I'm not about to do this with y'all. But there are people out here saying, if you're not with your baby daddy no more, you're not with your ex-husband, your ex-wife, y'all are no longer family. I don't agree. So let's just be clear about that. I don't agree. The child is what links you. You don't have to have them over for Thanksgiving, but you have to show a certain level of care for the child, not care for them at all, but for the child, to be interested in the child's well-being, because the child still loves that parent. And what if something happens to that parent, it's going to hurt that child. And so you just got to be smart. Let's just be honest. You just got to be smart about that. Okay. And quit saying that's not my family, because you're hurting your child. You're not doing anything good by saying, who are you trying to impress by saying that? Okay, I don't want to get up on the soapbox, but I hate when people say that, because you're hurting that child, especially when you say it in front of the child. Come on now. So let's stop saying that. Just don't say it at all. But the reality is, your family, because you're linked because of that child. That child has that daddy's blood running through their veins, whether you like it or not. And that child has that mama's DNA all the way through and through, whether you like it or not. So stop it. Okay, now I'm off of that. But the first 10 participants will receive the high conflict co-parenting resolution system, absolutely free. You just pay for shipping. So if you want to be a part of the collab, make sure, I will reach out to me if you're watching this on any social media, DM our team, and we will send you the link and the information to get it. We have not publicized this yet. This is not public. So I want you all to have the first opportunity, because you following me in some kind of form or fashion. I want you all to have the first opportunity to be a part of this collaboration. And I believe that because you're already following me, you're already following what I talk about, all the things, that you are going to be the best recipients of receiving it, because you already know what content I bring to the table. You already know how I am. You know what I believe. And if you're part of this collab, listen, it just makes it so much sweeter. So I want to personally invite you to this collaboration. in the summer. Starts this summer. It's going to be, you're going to be able to register for a morning session or evening session, whichever fits your schedule. And we are going to have a time. Okay, we're going to have a time. There's no expiration. You can be in it as long in the collaboration as long as you like. Because I do believe that it's just going to get better and better and better with time. And I believe that as you navigate and grow, that you are going to glean so much from being a part of this support group. Essentially, you're going to be a part of the support group. So make sure message our team. All you got to do is send us a message, or you can comment down below in the chat. I want my I want it in. I want in. Just comment. I want in, and we'll help you get in because we want to make sure that we oblige your request as well. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. I can't wait to see y'all in the next video. Just wanted to let you all know you can outsmart the high conflict person in your family. You really can. And all you got to do is really the biggest thing you got to do is be the best communicator, be the most effective communicator, and be the most respected person in the room. And you do that by not allowing them to use your emotions against you, but you maintain your dignity, you maintain your emotions because they are real, but you don't let them use it against you because you don't even give them access, baby. That's it. That's that is the secret right there. Newsflash. That was the secret. Y'all just missed it. Don't allow them to use your emotions against you because they don't have access to them. That's it. That was the answer y'all was waiting on. That was the answer. So, listen, I can't wait to see y'all in the next video. Make sure if you're not subscribing already to my channel on YouTube or right here on Facebook, wherever you're watching, make sure you subscribe so that you can get all of this goodness. Okay. I'm just giving y'all all the tea for free. So, why not get it all? All right. See y'all in the next video.